Join me as I dive into the wild moment when Bishop Joel Tudman totally lost it at 62 in church. Can I make sense of what happened? Bishop Joel Tudman is a well-known figure in the church community, respected for his leadership and spiritual guidance. He's been serving his congregation for many years, and his dedication has earned him a loyal following. Bishop Tudman's church has been facing some tough times lately. There have been rumors of internal conflicts and disagreements among the congregation, which may have contributed to the tension. Some members have been questioning his leadership, and there have been whispers of a possible power struggle within the church. These tensions have been building up for a while, and it's possible that Bishop Tudman was feeling the pressure. They said he'd never return. They said his time in ministry was over. But when Bishop Joel Tudman stepped back onto that stage, something happened that no one saw coming. The tears, the silence, and then the roar of the crowd. What really happened to Bishop Tudman after he was fired? And how did he find the strength to come back stronger than ever? Stay tuned, because the truth behind his emotional return will shock you. The story of Bishop Joel Tudman is one that has stirred emotions, raised eyebrows, and sparked intense debate across the faith community. When news broke that Tudman had been removed from his position, it shocked thousands who had followed his ministry for years. But what came next was even more powerful. After months of silence, prayer, and deep reflection, Bishop Tudman made an emotional return, one that left both his supporters and critics speechless. Today, we're diving deep into the untold story behind that moment. What really happened behind closed doors before he was let go? Who made the final decision? And what changed in his heart that led to his powerful return? This video uncovers the truth, the timeline, and the transformation that brought Bishop Tudman back into the pulpit, not just as a preacher, but as a man reborn through pain and purpose. So stay tuned, because we're not only going to break down what led to his firing and return, but also reveal how this moment has shifted the landscape of modern ministry forever. You won't believe the reactions from other pastors, the rumors that circulated, and the message Tudman himself shared that had everyone in tears. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into the biggest stories shaking the gospel world. Now, let's get into it, because this story is only just beginning. When Bishop Joel Tudman's departure was first announced, it sent shockwaves through the entire church community. For years, Tudman had been one of the most passionate and dynamic voices in ministry, known for his powerful sermons, his mentorship under Bishop T.D. Jakes, and his deep emotional connection with congregations around the world. But one Sunday morning, his absence from the pulpit raised questions that no one could ignore. Members whispered, leaders avoided eye contact, and social media began to buzz. Something was clearly wrong. Then came the official statement. Bishop Tudman was no longer part of the pastoral leadership team. But what made the situation even more confusing was how it was communicated. There was no detailed explanation, no farewell message, no official goodbye, just silence. Insiders began to speak anonymously. Some suggested that internal disagreements had grown between Tudman and key figures within the leadership circle. Others hinted that the issue wasn't moral failure or scandal, but rather a difference in direction and ministry style. Tudman was known for being bold, emotionally honest, unafraid to talk about struggle and pain, and passionate about reaching those often ignored by the traditional church system. That kind of authenticity can inspire millions, but it can also make some people uncomfortable. Behind closed doors, according to several close associates, tension had been building for months. Tudman's sermons had taken on a deeper, more transparent tone, touching on leadership struggles, burnout, and feeling misunderstood. Some saw these messages as a cry from the heart. Others saw them as a veiled critique of leadership dynamics. And then, just like that, he was gone. No press conference, no warning, just an announcement that left his supporters reeling. Social media exploded. Congregants and fans flooded online forums with one question: why? Theories spread quickly. Was he forced out for speaking too freely? Did his growing influence become a threat to the hierarchy? Or was it simply time for a new chapter, one that no one saw coming? For Bishop Tudman, those weeks following his removal were some of the darkest. He went completely silent. No posts, no public appearances, no comments. It was as if he disappeared into the wilderness, a familiar biblical symbol for those called to a higher purpose. Through seasons of isolation, but behind that silence, something powerful was happening. Those close to him revealed that he was in deep reflection, spending long hours in prayer and personal study. Friends say he wrestled not just with the pain of rejection, but with a deeper question: what does it mean to be called when man says you're finished? And that's where the story takes a turn, because while everyone thought his ministry was over, Bishop Tudman was quietly being prepared for a comeback that would stun the entire church world. But before we get there, let's look at what led up to that breaking point. The final moments before his removal and the powerful message he preached just days before it happened. That message, many believe, was a prophetic sign of what was coming next. In the weeks leading up to Bishop Joel Tudman's removal, there was a noticeable shift in his preaching. The congregation has also been dealing with some challenges, including a decline in attendance and a decrease in donations. This has put a strain on the church's resources, and some members have been worried about the future of their community. Bishop Tudman has been trying to address these issues, but it's clear that he's been feeling overwhelmed. His usual calm and composed demeanor seemed to be fraying at the edges. As the pressures mounted, Bishop Tudman seemed to be reaching his breaking point. He'd been preaching about the importance of faith and perseverance, but it's clear that he was struggling to find his own strength. His sermon started to take on a more urgent tone, as if he was trying to rally his congregation to action. But despite his best efforts, the tensions continued to build. The emotional and spiritual implications of Bishop Tudman's meltdown are complex. On one hand, it's clear that he was feeling deeply frustrated and overwhelmed. His outburst was a shocking moment, one that left many in the congregation stunned and unsure of how to react. But on a deeper level, his meltdown may be a symptom of a larger issue within the church. The church has long been a source of comfort and guidance for its members, but Bishop Tudman's meltdown raises questions about its ability to support its leaders. Have we been putting too much pressure on our spiritual leaders, expecting them to be superhuman and unflappable? Or have we been ignoring the warning signs of burnout and exhaustion? These are tough questions, but ones that we need to confront head-on. Bishop Tudman's meltdown also highlights the need for greater empathy and understanding within the church. We need to create a culture where our leaders feel safe to express their emotions and vulnerabilities, without fear of judgment or rejection. This won't be easy, but it's essential if we want to build a healthier, more compassionate community. The moment of the meltdown itself was intense. Bishop Tudman was in the middle of a sermon, his voice rising in anger and frustration. He started to lash out at the congregation, his words sharp and hurtful. The room fell silent, with many members looking on in shock and discomfort. Some tried to intervene, but Bishop Tudman was beyond consolation. The reactions from the congregation were mixed. Some were shocked and saddened by Bishop Tudman's outburst, while others seemed to be trying to make sense of it. A few members tried to defend him, saying that he was under a lot of pressure and deserved a break. But for many, the moment was a turning point, a wake-up call to the deeper issues that have been simmering beneath the surface. The impact of Bishop Tudman's outburst will be felt for a long time. It raises questions about his leadership and the future of the church. Will he be able to recover from this moment, or will it mark the end of his ministry? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: the church will never be the same. The key takeaways from this incident are clear: even the most respected leaders can struggle with their emotions and vulnerabilities. Bishop Tudman's meltdown was a shocking moment, but it's also a reminder that we're all human, and that we all need support and understanding. What do you think about Bishop Tudman's meltdown? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to check out my channel for more wild and thought-provoking content. Thanks for the watching and